This group of women sits outside this home taking turns snorting tobacco. As they nurse hangovers from a traditional brew they imbibed the previous night. This is a jolly afternoon for them. All filled with joy and thanksgiving, one of their own joined the Motherhood Club last night, and to welcome 13-year-old Jayo Lenyakopiro into the thrills of maternity, they brewed a strong beer yesterday. Nakala Lenyakopiro, mother of 36-year-old Lemasayo Lenyakopiro, who is Jayo's husband, is elated. Goodies for the new mom have arrived through his second-born son. The new daddy, who works in the capital Nairobi, sent money as soon as the baby's shrill shot through the village. Inside the hut and away from the binging outside, Jayo, still a child by any definition, but now forced into maturity by the baby girl in her arms, is learning how to nurse.
Maendelea na harusi yake mwezi wa 8 ile mwaka ingine. Tukapeana ng'ombe, ndume, tukaleta tu yeye.
Okay, ndume ngapi?
Tumepeleka ng'ombe 3. Bado ingine.
Bado ngapi?
Bado na ndani ya ng'ombe 3.
And here it is much worse in this Samburu community because of bidding, which starts a little bit earlier. So it gives a conduit to being sexual active at that early age, if they will not be able to go through child marriage. So I would mention that the effects are dire, especially when young girls undergo through child marriage, and FGM just propagates child marriage.
Circumcised at the tender age of 9, she's now scarred for life as an aging woman had to enlarge the opening of her birth canal in the most unorthodox manner to let out the baby.
Hey, Havana. Simi namwambia wewe, mimi nakata na hii kidole hapa juu. Mimi nafanya na hii. Kama anawasua hapa juu, mtoto natoka.
Ukishamkata msichana hivyo, unashona?
Hapana. Mungu nasona.
Her harrowing story is the story of many other girls in the vast land that is Samburu. Weak, shy, with a capsulated feeling of intrusion, intermittently, she dribbles her narration. Exactly 4 steps into her mother-in-law's house is a mound of fresh soil. Here, the women snorting tobacco and nursing hangovers outside helped Jayo deliver her first baby, barely at 13 years.
Mimi nikapanua mguu yangu hivi nakalisha hapa. Sasa ule yako huko. Tutoe hivi. Na tunasukuma mara moja. Nashika hivi. Narudisha hivi. Sasa huyu nakaa kufungua nini? Nini soitwa hii. Tunashika tu hivi.
Meanwhile, tea is being brewed for the new mom. Tea and porridge will be her sole meals for the next 2 weeks, in line with the tradition here. Jayo sustained multiple tears due to the narrowing of her birth canal. According to the traditional birth attendant Arkute Lekireu, no stitches are required. She will be fine.
Sinaangalia kama kushavaswa pale mingi. Basi na sinimwambia samsana hii kitu na hii na hiyo.
Sasa anasafishanga na nini?
Na maji, chumvi, na makojo yake. Sindio? Anafanya haraka.
The vaginal cut inflicted on her when she was circumcised before she celebrated her 10th birthday which results in the narrowing of the vaginal opening through the creation of a covering seal. The common type of cut practice in this area. According to Kenya Demographic and Health Survey, female genital cut among the Samburu community was second highest in the country at 86%, where 9 in 10 women and girls among the Samburu and Somali have undergone the cut. Other than complications at birth, FGM has numerous effects on a girl or a woman. These include infections, excessive bleeding, delayed or incomplete healing. It also causes damage to adjacent organs. Circumcision also leads to recurrent urinary tract infections, formation of cysts, or even death.
Nani?
Lekireo has been delivering babies since the riper days of her youth. She acquired the skill from her mother and believes that female genital mutilation does not in any way interfere with the delivery of babies. Since the onset of free maternal care in the country, there has been a rise in the number of women from Samburu County who have been visiting health facilities in order to enjoy these services. However, due to the distance between some settlement to the healthcare, some still trust their deliveries with the unskilled birth attendants. Reliance on birth attendants also translates to minimal or no antenatal visits for a pregnant mother. Kenya Demographic Health Survey done 4 years ago estimates that less than 90% of women in Samburu County go for antenatal visits. Several miles away, Annie Kanai Lelesit, a 59-year-old retired nurse and an anti-FGM activist, had almost similar complications arising from FGM. Not once, but 5 times she got pregnant.
I got my firstborn when I'm 23 years old, and I remember I got a severe tear because I got a 3rd-degree tear in my perineum area. I've been having problem during delivery. There is a lot of bleeding, and after every childbirth, there is tears, and there are severe tears. I used to bleed a lot, because every childbirth, I must be added fluids and blood. And the doctors could not even know why I was bleeding like that. Until even now, the last born, whom I delivered in the year 1992, I got a cervical tear.
Now a mother of 5, she underwent the cut also at the age of 9. The memories still linger.
Immediately after FGM, I really bled and I fainted, I can't remember. It was so painful. Then my grandmother was giving me oil, herbs, and blood.
Circumcision kills the ability of the birth canal to expand during childbirth, leading to tears. But Kanai says the story does not end there.
Hii kitu kidogo challenge ya kwangu sana, because how small is that cut? And yet you hear it's the clitoris which contains 6,000 to 8,000 nerves. Because that is that obstetric problems. There is during childbirth, the head of the child cannot come out, and there is those tears. We have also seen those ones who can get severe tears, fistulas.
Kenai is now on constant medication for nervous damage she had after delivering her last-born son.
I think this is the thing that has caused me to have nerve problems in my hips and in my legs, because I'm now on drugs throughout. Because I remember when I got my last-born, the whole leg could not work for 3 days.
Childbearing for the girls of Samburu, therefore, is a life and death affair, although traditional birth attendants, commonly known as TBS, still call the shots here due to the sparseness of the county and traditional preferences.
But still, in our place, TBS are delivering them because they are there, and they will face a lot of risks. If they bleed the way I used to bleed, obviously they will die. And I know in the village, when you bleed, they just go to livestock, remove blood and give you blood directly. It won't help because the blood you are drinking will go to the stomach.
The tide, however, is changing. Months ago, for instance, more than 500 girls from the county went through an alternative rite of passage. It also roped in boys from the same age set. Kenai and the many other activists who have camped here lately hope these are the first steps to a brighter future for the girls here, both as lovers and mothers.
You cannot get satisfaction when during sex, and I think that's the main reason why the Samburu people were circumcising girls.
I think the challenge here depends on the acceptability, and this issue is hidden along very extreme social acceptance and norms in this community. And so nobody would want to talk about it in open. Nobody would want to be seen talking about FGM. And they would say they have done this over time. But believe you me, FGM becomes a conduit towards child marriage. And we know that child development, the development of our bodies to be able to carry pregnancy to full term depends on your age. So studies have shown that if we delay our first pregnancy to 19 years and after, then there is a possibility of reduction of maternal mortality and child mortality.
Vivian Cheru, aged 12, is one of the young girls who escape the blade every year. She just graduated from the alternative rite of passage held in the area. She had a lot to take home.
You are taught how to be confident to say no to FGM. You are taught the effects of FGM through both short term and long term. And in the short term, we were taught that when you are cut, immediately you go through severe bleeding and severe pain. And in the long term, when you just get well, and then some days later or some weeks later, you realize that you have some infections. And those infections are called keloids.
She's not only an escapee from the cat, but also an ambassador against the cat among her mates. Jayo, lonely inside her heart despite the company of her baby, knows she will never know what it feels really to be with a man, for every sexual encounter with her husband has been most painful. She knows too that she will soon get pregnant again, and a woman with tobacco stains on her palms and a sharp fingernail will reach for her once again. Eunice Omolo, NTV, Samburu County.